Hello. We're going to be doing things just a little bit differently today. I'm going to take multiple quotes and discuss them, and I'll have one major quote that I really want to get to. Um, these pages are, if you've got the Alinsky book, it's going to be somewhere in the 70s is where I'm at now. I know I haven't been issuing page numbers and stuff, but I probably should have done that, but I think we'll be okay. So the first quote from Alinsky today is a short one. It talks about dogma is the enemy of human freedom. And I find this interesting because you can tell he was absolutely against allowing people to become too dogmatic about their beliefs. And the reason is because it limited the mobility of what he calls the organizer, the leader, to be able to shift and to kind of juke in order to get the job done. It becomes a lot more difficult to flank the enemy when you're entrenched in a position. And so his job was to make sure that his leaders and those following him were morally flexible enough in what they wanted in order to achieve their goal. Another quote he said was, "We live in a world where good is a value dependent on whether we want it." So what is good is only good if you want it. If you want something, therefore it is good. This is his philosophy. That means whatever ends you want, it's good because you want it. That's where this guy came from. And you can see this in most all Marxian thoughts, because when Marxian ideology plays out, they're always there to divide and to tear. And so that's when you combine that with Alinsky's model of not just leadership but infiltration and attack and pressure, Marxian ideology is one of the most dangerous and powerful things that any Christian leader comes up against. I would not hesitate to call this, as I think the King James would say, doctrines of devils. I think this is very much so. It is a very well-crafted worldview that is just devastating to everything it touches. So the next quote here, it says, "With very rare exceptions, the right things are done for the wrong reasons. It's futile to demand that men do the right thing for the right reasons. This is a fight with a windmill. The organizer should know and accept that the right reason is only introduced as a moral rationalization after the right ends have been achieved." And so step one is you discover the end that you want to achieve. Step two is that once you find that end, you find the moral justification for it. And step three, you do whatever it takes to get to that end, the whole time holding up your moral justification. We see this all the time on the modern day left in the United States, because their walk and their talk are they're not compatible. They say one thing, but their actions produce another. They say peace, love, joy, but they give you, war, hatred, sadness. If you've ever, so I'm one of those weird people who tend to watch all of the political spectrum, and when you go to a leftist rally, it's doom and gloom. Everybody's evil, everybody's bad. The United States is bad, the world is bad. And then when you go to a conservative anything, it's like, hey, we can overcome, pushing forward, saying, listen, we're flawed, but we can do better. Let's go. Very, very high energy, very happy, compared to a lot of the leftist rallies. It's one thing Barack Obama got right. His rallies were much, much more energetic, much more happy, much more uplifting. And that's something that as leaders we need to remember, especially as Christian leaders, we need to do a lot of partying. Obviously not now, we're in COVID, but we need to spend a lot of time, interacting and creating a pleasant environment for people, an attractive environment for people. That will make a lot of difference in the future on how well we can attract and keep people. So to wrap up this little podcast, understand that anytime you're dealing with a Marxian philosophy or a Marxist group, you need to understand that whatever their ends are, it's not what they're telling you. They're using a moral justification, and that they are willing to go to any lengths to achieve it. And then only afterwards, once they achieve their goal, will they go back and retcon, right? They'll go back and claim it was about this or this or that. And that is completely consistent with the Saul Alinsky worldview and how he teaches people to act. Take a look around you, think about it, you'll find it true.